Good morning, good morning, good morning, everybody. It is Wednesday, November 17th, just coming on 5:40 a.m. over there on the East Coast. You guys are out there shoveling snow within the next couple of hours while I am over here at 6:40 p.m., 80 degrees Fahrenheit. Yes, I will always rub that in while you guys are covered in snow. Really quick. Year of the pronouns is over, but the year of the no range has undoubtedly kicked off. Yesterday, great day, fantastic day, nothing to complain about. However, we are now into our 11th trading session of the year. We have had two greater than 40-point ranges on the SPX. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of these 10 ranges. 6 of these 10 trading sessions have been less than 35 points. So, yeah, it has been tight. It has been very tight, very, very, very tight. Over on the spreads, everything looking good. Today, I will remind you, is day number 17 since we have had a minus 1% dip over on the SPX. It is 47.18.32 for today. And it is very, very plausible that we will get that. And I will show you why very quickly. I am just going to drop and drag over here. Futures are down considerably. What you're looking at over here is the YM, very much down. This is a new 5-day low over on the Dow. The Russell continues to eat big bags of shit as it falls down below 190, down below 189 over on the IWM, and trolling on that 186.85 level. Over here on the ES, on the SPX, the lows almost hit that trigger, that 47.6750, which is right around where your SPX 47.37 pivot is. Just kind of missed it, more or less, rough give or take. But here on the SPX, looking at yesterday, we opened up, bam, had our little dip, and all of a sudden got that aggressive move to the upside, which, like I shared over in the spread room, do not ever let a good end of the world pass you by. Paid perfectly yesterday. And great opportunity to get into those Friday 4805, 4800s. Fed Waller made some comments. Boom, got a dip right down to the 50-yard line. 50-yard line is at 47.65. 47.65 is your 50-yard line. Got your bounce back up to the end of the world, and then you started to eat your big bag of shit down below the 20-day, just to the 10-day moving average. And miraculously, because 47.45 is so significant, you had your 20-point buy the dip bounce for all the degenerates that want to play the 0 DTE at the last hour of the day with $72 and say, I'm trading. There's much better places that you could spend your efforts on that. So that is your SPX as to what we had. Zooming out, looking at it from a wider point of view, because that's what we always do. And as you can see here, this is our big bottom. This is our big top. 46.82, 48.02. The biggest 120-point range you have ever seen. You could actually take a permanent marker and write 120 on your penis and tell your wife, it's huge. Over here, this is the lows down here, 46.98. However, what we're talking about over there on the futures is this low right over here from back on the 11th, which is right down to 47.39.58. That is the breaking point right here, 47.37, 47.39. That's your breakdown point. And again, 17 trading sessions without a minus 1% decline. While we're here, I'm going to show you what you missed while you were asleep. And that is the FTSE taking an absolute ass kicking, down 1.5% right now. And that was because their CPI missed. They have gone back below the 2023 open, eliminating an entire year worth of trading, going nowhere for more than a year. However, very interesting. And actually, it's a pretty interesting topic as well. This is the Hang Seng. The Hang Seng, which is in Hong Kong, for those of you that don't know, down 3.71% today. And you see this 50, get off there, this 50 retracement line, 15,591.68. This goes to the February of 2021 lows, and I will zoom out on that so you can see where that comes from. Yeah, this is coming off of here, where is this coming from? Oh, this is 50% from the all-time highs. My apologies. I was wrong. This is 50% from the all-time highs where we are breaking down, and we are looking to break down below the October lows over there on the Hang Seng, which, if we zoom out even further, even though the data only goes to 2016, as you can see, Hong Kong is in some serious fooey. Now, here's a point. So China going to go into Taiwan. America, Australia, Japan, they're supposed to be the ones who are supposedly going to defend it. How are they going to be able to tell the difference between the Chinese and the Taiwanese? Pretty interesting, huh? So anyway, what is more important is the VIX. Here is your VIX 5-day, looking at your lows coming off there on Thursday. Here is your Friday. Here is your weekend gap up. Here is your Tuesday gap up. And we have another gap up, and we are up above 1451. And what we are doing is new kids on the block.
I really think it's just a matter of time. Everybody sing it, come on. Step by step. Ooh, baby, gonna get to you, girl.
Yeah, pretty sad when, 50-year-olds are out there doing teenager songs that they used to do fucking decades ago. We got new highs, 30-day highs over there on the VIX. We have not 90-day highs, but as you can see over here, I will just move you in to back where we lost this in November when everything was going up no matter what, and we lost 1542. This 1451 is a big litmus test, a big litmus test. And God forbid we hold that 1451 today. You got a really good chance of seeing that minus 1% decline day. However, because I'll get on GS in a second. Drop and drag over here makes it easier. Let's drag it over. There we go. The NASDAQ, the QQQ, looking at this just on the week to date. And as you can see, as you came down here overnight, you couldn't even take to the overnight lows from over there on Tuesday. Could not even get it. And that is because, as you see here on the Russell, which is getting the absolute shit kicked out of it, everything, we've been saying this for months, everything is inside the QQQ. Over here on the SPY, as you see, get above that 476.30, get short. Here you are down at the 2024 open and that big warning sign 472.38. So very possible that you might get your minus 1% day. However, because trades have been going so well, and like I shared yesterday, when we did have that little bit of a pop on the QQQ, I threw out that alert. 409 puts, that's your zero DTE there at 57 cents. Let's actually look at that because we did close dot QQQ 240116 put 409. This is on the 1 day today, so the 1 day 1 minute. Yeah, it was right around here 11:30. They were at 50 cents. Shot up there to a little bit more than $1. Later on in the day, shot up to almost $2 as you got your dip going into that 2 o'clock period. So what I'm looking at here is the spreadsheet, which everybody should have their own spreadsheet. The data is free. It's free data. You literally go every day over to wherever you want to go, but I happen to go to yahoo.com because I've had an account with yahoo.com for almost 30 years. Go over here, QQQ, you look at your history right there, historical data, go over there and you highlight that and you copy it and you go over and you go down to your row and let's just do this for shits and giggles and show everybody how easy it is. And you go here and you go paste. And there you go. And then all you do is copy and paste the stuff from the day before and you throw it right in there, and it's that simple. So anyway, point being is over on the QQQ, you see these 411s, 41120, 41125, 41112. You see that 411, you go ahead and you buy your 0 DTE puts. Buy the 411s, buy the 410s, buy the 409s if you want to for the dip. As you can see here on your closes, 409.35, 409.56, 409.52. You are tight. You are tight, tight, tight. And until you get out of that break zone and you can break down below that 405, you are tight. But again, as you see here, we have been going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 green closes, and yesterday was a fractionally red close. And the reason being is we have Goldman Sachs up here. A lot of people were asking me about getting in Goldman Sachs because JP Morgan was so fucking fantastic. They're not all the same. They're not all the same, and that's the reason I didn't put out an email or a video or even message or send an alert out on Goldman Sachs, because they're not all the same. You want to see 390. See 390, you can hope to see 390, 350, and you can play it back down to 375 for the bigger, broader, wider view, which I made a big mistake yesterday for one person by tagging it with the buy with the sell signal so that it would go into the trades room, because I wanted everybody to see this from a bigger, broader, wider view and not from a short term. Your bigger, broader, wider view is that 356. And the reason why it's that 356 is, as we go out here, you can see here where your 356 is, 356.47. We will go out on a wider view. And again, you can see here where your 356.47 is. So bigger, broader, wider view, April, May, whatever it is, 356.47, that's your drop spot. Would be very nice to see 390, although I have serious doubts that you're even going to get a chance for that. So over here onto Uber, again, got into the trade, like the trade. I'm obviously getting a good time. I decided to go with the February 23s rather than the 16s, because the 16s being OPEX, they did not have the single dollar difference in strikes. You had 65, you had 62.50, you had 60. I went with the February 23s because I could get the 64s. I like the 64s. I don't want to be too deep in the money. I also don't want to be too far out of the money with the February 16s, with the 62.50s. I like 60.73, I like 59.26, and I like 57. And yesterday saw a lot of good flow down on the low 50s for February 16th. So like that as well. So I will leave you off with the golden child NVIDIA. And the golden child NVIDIA, fuck, we don't even need to have these studies up here because they're fucking useless. Remove the 10-day, remove the 20-day, and remove the 50-day. Again, looking at it for what it is, the Monday, week ago, Monday, Tuesday, whatever, yeah, it was Monday because it was a little bit further than that. You had your big move up and then just sat there tight. 530 being your gap, and then you went nowhere Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. You literally went nowhere. And then yesterday being the open of the week, and how all the AI stocks, AMD, NVIDIA, and all of their little, scam cousins, we went up to that 566.87 that I talked about, and I don't have anything up here. I don't have anything. I don't have anything up above that. I have nothing above it. So having blown through all of these pivots and just rocketed through them yesterday, again, I don't have anything up above that. And until there's a breakdown below 550, down into that 534, down into that 530 gap, I got nothing to fucking say about Nvidia, except that Nvidia, it's anybody buying up here, you're fucked. So I said I would leave you with that, but I have to bring on Apple. Okay, Apple, I'm going to bring a wider view here so you can see all-time highs posted over here, December 14th. Big gap after they had that really horrible news, drop, a couple of downgrades, and you got your big drop, 179, almost 10% drop. Bounce back up. Here's your 2024 open, and you've been fading off with another gap from over the weekend and pushing on to this 182.40, which is your 50 retracement down to the October lows. Now, more significantly about Apple. Let's get a nicer one. Load studies. big charts. Big chart shows it a little bit better because you can see the history of where it's coming from. And as you can see, that first big drop down on that gap down and then follow through, you broke the 50-day moving average. You haven't been able to resist it because that's a moving average that's moving up. So is the 200-day. We are trolling on that 200-day. That 200-day came down and got tagged on the lows over there on January 8th, and we are trolling on that 200-day moving average right now. So you put this out into a bigger, broader view, and you start looking at this for what it is, and you have the very strong possibility that you are going to be breaking down below that 180 level down to around this 177, 178 area, and 174 is going to be your litmus test underneath that. So Apple, big brother, coming down this way. That's going to put a little bit of pressure over there on QQQ and a little bit of pressure on SPX. So keep that in mind when you are out there trying to buy the dip. But be happy that you live in the United States of America and not over there in Hong Kong, because, boy, those guys are fooked.
If you're driving 80 miles per hour, how long does it take for you to go 80 miles?
Like 2 hours? You're going 80 miles an hour?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hour and a half. Hour and a half?
Well, if you're going 80 miles an hour,
But
it's gonna take
how
more
long does
than
it
an hour
take
and
you
a
to
half.
get to 80?
Oh, you're right.
It takes you you have to like
Yeah,
build
so
up speed.
like 2 hours.
Like an hour 45.
Alright. Is that right? Do we get the money?
I think that was right.